to glorify His name. And this morning, just I wanted to share all the good things God has done in my life, how He has brought me out of the horrible pit and the mighty clay, and what He has done in my life. And I wanted to cut it short by the grace of God. And I was born in a Hindu family, and I was brought up, and I was the third youngest of all the children, all the three children, and I was brought up strictly according to the customs and the rituals and the traditions of that religion. And I was also happy because the way seems to be very happy and entertaining. And Fridays we go and we wash all the idols and adorn them and decorate all the puja house and everything, and where it will be very enthusiastic and to do all those things, or girls will do all such kind of things, as you know, some of you. And I was really happy, but this happiness doesn't long for so many days. And we faced, my mother got a dreadful sickness in her body, and she started to vomit blood every day, and she went to so many hospitals, and she met so many doctors, and many operations has been done, but there was no healing. And she became skin and bone, and she was about to die, and she was in her deathbed. And we don't have any hope. We also sought all the gods and the goddesses we have in Hinduism, and but we don't have any hope in anything. At last she is in her deathbed, and we were expecting her death. And at this stage, one of our aunties, who is a believer, she came to my mom and she told, there is Jesus called a God, and He is the God. He is alone can deliver anyone and everyone from any sicknesses if you believe in His name. And according to that, my mother told, okay, let me try that God too. We have done so many things, but we don't see any success in anything. Let me try Jesus, and let me believe in Him and see that He will do it to me in my life. And my aunt took my mom to the ongoing convention at the time. And there she got prayed with a pastor, and the pastor, when he prayed, he told her that this night the demon working behind this sickness will leave this sister. And according to the pastor's word, even that very night my mother got healed, and even still now she is alive. And it's really a marvelous work. And when she saw the power of God and the prayer answering God, she was so much shocked, and she thought, this is a true God and He is a living God. And so I just wanted to live for this God who has given my life back to me, and to live with my family. We and all the family together will live for this God alone. And she decided, and she started to even take us to the church. At first it was so good, and because it is something, a new kind of worship and things. And we were also children, so we don't know. So it seems to be like very much enthusiastic. But later on, when I went into it, I saw all these people with bare faces. In the East, as we all know, that they will be in white dresses. With the white dress, all the whole church is in white dress. And I thought, what have they lost in their life? Why they are like that? And only one life we have, and why can't we enjoy that life to full? And why these people are crying and shouting like this? And what is the point of doing all these things? They don't know how to enjoy, and even trying to pull me also into this pathetic state. I don't want to come this life. So I decided in my life, okay, it's better let them follow, but I don't want to have any involvement in all these things. Just I used to go to the Sunday meeting because I fear my mother. She is very strict, and so I used to go just for her sake. And the rest of the days, all the 6 days of the week, I live according to my own life, being full in all the failures that the young people will have. And also that even my mother knows that I don't like this Christianity or either Christ, and I hate so much in my heart. So she is very strict with me. In so many ways I made so many excuses and used to miss the meetings in different ways. But there is no more hope for me. My mother is so strict, and she is getting strong towards me. It became so difficult for me. Then I thought, it's no way I can't live a Hindu life which I truly happy about, and so it's better if I have to live, I want to live a life as a good Hindu and enjoy all the pleasures of this world. Otherwise, I wanted to end up my life. I decided, and I just didn't tell anything, but it was a decision in my heart. And according to this, Satan also encouraged me in different ways, and so I got a poison bottle, and it is with me. And after, I'm just waiting for a chance when to do and what to do. And one Sunday, I didn't go for the Sunday meeting. I did tell some excuse, and I was at home, and they went for the Sunday meeting, and they had come, and they had lunch, and they had been resting, and I thought this is a good time for me, so let me do my work. And I thought to come to contemplate suicide, and even that very time I took the bottle and opened the lid and lifted up the bottle to my mouth, but I can see something is hindering me from drinking that, and I can feel some hand or some person is truly hindering me. I can't do that. I was so much frustrated. I was closed the lid of the bottle and put it aside, and I was crying, and I don't know what to do because I failed even in dying also. I don't know now how to die too, and I was so much sad about myself. And even at the same time, I can hear the sweet voice of a person, child, you are not to die, you have to live. You have to live and declare the works of me. And when I heard these words, it really, the soft words really made my heart, spirit to be cooled down, and my hardened heart became very soft, and my heart was convicted, and I heard, who is this man? And Jesus said, I love you. You are not here to die. You have to live for me. Then I said, who is this person that is loving me? I'm hating that person and he is loving me. How can he love? So my heart broke for him, and that very moment I opened my heart to Jesus and gave to him. And that's the way Jesus has come into my life and received the joy of the salvation, and all that was troubling in my heart, slowly it went off my life. And later on, I can see there was a great changes happening in my life, and I started to go to the meetings. I started to read the Word of God. I was also strict with myself, and in so many ways God was dealing with me, and I was going to church regularly. There is no one to persuade me now, because it is the love of God that is driving me to do all these things, and just I'm doing it. And after that, I can see in all these, and I received the Holy Spirit, and then I have taken water baptism. In every step of all these, I completely got rid of all my troublesome situation that was in my heart, and I completely received the complete peace and rest of God in my heart, and I could experience the fullness of joy in my heart. And I gave my heart to God, and Jesus was all in all to me. I was taking so much of extra time also to spend with God in so many ways. Even my whole household was looking at me that something has happened to me, but no one asked me anything. I didn't even tell them anything, what has happened to me, what have I done. Things were going on, and after a few years, then I want to just cut it short. Just after a few years, then again, there started a kind of uncomfortable within my heart, and I'm feeling that I lost my peace. Then I went to God, and I started to ask Him, Jesus, what have I done? That what is the cause of this restlessness, and what have I done? What have grieved you? Then Jesus said, my child, you have to serve me. And with so many verses He has spoken to me. Then I too have so many things to say to Him. Then He said, no way, you have to surrender. Then I said, but one thing, you see, I wanted to serve you, but my father is still a Hindu, so in any way I cannot come. Wait. We can wait for some more time. But Jesus said only one thing, because Jesus also know how to do his things in his time. He will do beautifully. He said only one word, "Ye shall hold your peace and I will fight for you." The only word really shut my mouth, and really I said, "God, if you will fight all my battles, then I am ready to yield myself to your will." And I gave my life to him, and just I was silent, and it's God that has done everything to me. And I cannot tell everything, explain now, but it is a wonderful way. I didn't go anywhere alone without my parents. But that's the first time God opened a way for me to go to the Chennai convention and yield myself. When I mentioned this to the servants of God and believers also, everyone were frightened. They were saying, "Jyothi, how can we face your dad?" But there is no turning back. I haven't decided. It is God who decided. Just I have to follow him. So then I was anointed there for the ministry, and I came back. The next day itself, my father came to know that I was ordained for the ministry. And he actually is a very gentle, a kind, and a compassionate person. He don't get angry at all also. But the very moment when he came to know that his daughter is going to some other way, he was so furious and anger, and he shouted at my mother. And he went to the church. He don't go to church at all. He went to the church, and he called the in-charge sister into brother's room, locked them inside the room, and he blasted them 1 hour. And he came back, and again, so many ways in the house also he's doing so many things. I can't believe him. And I tried at first to explain him so many things through the scriptures or through some examples. But God reminded me, "Ye shall hold your peace, I will fight for you." Then I said, "Oh, sorry, Lord Jesus, I'm speaking, that's why you're not fighting for me. You make him understand, or you fight for me." Then then my dad went and told all the relatives, and every night all my uncles will come, and there will be an interrogation till night 1 o'clock, and they'll go. And one day they told, "Jyothi, tomorrow is the last day. We are going to come. You have to let us know what your final decision is. Then we will determine what we wanted to do in your life." And then I said, "Okay." Then they went, and I said, "Jesus, it is you that decided, and it is that I accepted. There's nothing to tell them anyway. You just hinder them coming over here." And the next day, at the very moment, the night when they are about to come, there was a sudden wind and rain, and no one was able to come because it was already late. And so everybody went to their own houses. In such a way, God also fought that day and hindered them. And later on, everyone went, and all the other relatives also in different ways, they came to me in different ways. They tortured me, but it's the grace of God. I was locked in the house, and I was not allowed to go anywhere. And if at all I can go also, my cousin is there with me. He will take me and bring me back. But I don't have any permission. But one day I had a 1 hour I'm free. So mother told I was not going for any meeting that 1 month. I was at home. So mother told, "Just okay, this 1 hour you go and see the servants of God and pray for and come back." Then I said, "Okay." I took my brother and went, and while we are returning back, we are in a hurry, and we faced an accident. I fell from the vehicle and just dragged half a kilometer and fell on the road. It's a busy road, and I was but God prepared, and believer uncle there. Where did I fell? There was he was standing there. As soon as I fell, he picked me up and dragged me out of the road. And even in different ways, the devil tried to destroy my life, but God was my defense. He kept me all the way. And later on, also in different ways, as a father being, he was also threatening me that whole family is going to commit suicide, and he is going to finish all his accounts of his business, and every day he bring his books to house, and before me he will do all such things. And I don't know whether he wanted to threaten me, but nothing troubled me in any way. And I have a great peace within myself, and also he didn't see my face all those days. After that, I was so sad because of the thing that I have done, and in so many ways the things happened. I can't explain everything, but I wanted to say one thing. But I said to the servants of God, "You book the ticket along with all the others, those who are going to Chennai." God will open a way for me. And the whole church is fasting and praying for me, all the believers and the servants of God. It's only because of their prayers and the mercies of God, God has opened a way, I can tell. And also the week that I have to go has come, and before that my father has called me and told, Jyothi, I'm going because I have some work, because he is going for his father's anniversary. I told, I'm going, so I have to do all those things, so you come for that. Don't do any kind of things which displease us. Change your mind. Then I didn't speak anything. I came, but he said, my mother, she got mad. Just take care of her and be careful with her. And then she said, okay. Then he went. The very week I have to come out of the house, and even in this week also, the whole month when I was in the house, God in different ways has confirmed my calling and election. One evening my mother came to me and said, Jyothi, I wanted to disclose a secret which has been happening in your life when you are a baby. And she told, then she told me that when I was a baby, she was going through so much of hardships. She was, at the time she was a Hindu, and she thought to end up her life, and so she took some poison, and she thought, this girl is also a very little girl, then who will feed her and take care of her? Okay, we both will die. And so she gave that poison to me too, and after a few minutes she got collapsed, and the family members saw her and took her to the hospital, and she got healed. And while she came to her consciousness, she thought, oh God, I gave it to my child too. I don't know how she is. How can I see my child being dead? And so she was very sad, and she came to house. When she came home, she was astonished seeing at me because I was playing in the house, she said. And she said, after 3 days that poison came out of my body. So Jyothi, something is God has purposed in your life. So I know from even that day, and so in different ways as God has been confirming my calling. And so there are so many threatenings, and through my relatives, through phones, and through in different ways. God has been my all in all in those days, and he kept me safely. And that week God opened a way also, as my father went for his work's sake. I came and said goodbye to everyone and came to Chennai. And even after that also, when my father came to know that I was not at home and I was gone, he was so unhappy, and in different ways he planned in different ways to come back and take me off. And even my sister's brother and my father counseled together, planned different ways. But the God who confounded the counsel of Ahithophel is also our God. He confounded even their plans also. And in any way, he made them not to know where I am, though I was so nearby in those days. But God so much blinded their eyes that they couldn't see me, or they couldn't know me, because these are the plans of God. As we yield to his will, God will do perfect his will. God will preserve us if we are in the center of his will. So even in our lives also, we may have any of our family members, we are grieving because they are away from the Lord. We have hope in Christ. Christ is able to bring anyone to God, because he has only the power. All power belongs to him. He alone can do that work. So don't give up, but we can wait upon God, because he knows how to do beautifully in his time. So in such a way, even from that day to till this day, God is all in all to me. In all my sicknesses, in all my weaknesses, in many accidents, everything, God was my protector, my healer, and he was my all in all. I thank God for everything, for God has done to me all through the past days. I never lacked anything. Every day was a great joy to me, and the joy of one day was greater than the day before. And also serving Jesus was so precious to me. So I never expected that God will choose so great a sinner to serve him. And also God has given a great privilege to come over here and to serve for the last even 2 years too. And he kept me all through the last pandemic, even all through these days also, though there's so much of things are going on all over the world. I can say it's only the pure grace of God. Today I'm standing before you. And we all have hope in God that God will still keep us even in the coming days also. And now the ministry over here is finished, and I'm required to go back. And so wherever we will be, we have to see our Jesus. That is our only goal. Forgetting those things which are behind, reaching for to the things which are before. It is not the thing what we begin, but it is matters what how we finish. Solomon says it is the end of a thing is better than the beginning thereof. So end of everything should be better. So God must give grace to me and to each one of us that we will end better, that our beginning may be great, but our end should be more greater than that. That God will give us that grace, that we will finish this last mile victoriously, each one of us, and we can hope in God. And also one thing I wanted to tell all the young people is, only in the center of the God's will is we have a perfect joy, and in the center of His will alone we have a perfect peace and happiness. So we may have many other choices, but we cannot find the true joy. So before it is too late, not to regret later, let us know the will of God and do His perfect will, that this one life which God has given this on this earth, let us live for Him, that His name alone will be glorified in and through us, and also God will strengthen each one of us. And once again, I wanted to thank God for God keeping me, and I wanted to thank God for the leaders over here, for their guidance, for their goodness and their kindness, and also for my co-workers, those who are with me also, for all their help and care for me, and also for all you, for all the believers who are there, for your love and for your care, for your oneness of your heart and mind with me in everything, and for praying for me every day. I thank and praise you, and I request your prayers even in the coming days also, to uphold me in your prayers, that we will press towards the mark, towards high calling of Jesus Christ, that we all win Jesus, that we all will meet in Zion. And once again, I thank you for all your prayers, and close my testimony. Praise the Lord.